Hello, everybody. We had some technical difficulties. As you know, there are a lot of people going online and streaming, and we believe we had a streaming issue. So we're back with you. We're trying to provide the latest information on what's happening with loans and grants as they relate to COVID-19. Joy Sistrunk of PG Services. Joy Sistrunk is a CPA, and she will be providing information on the loans and the grants. If you have questions, please put them in the comments below. And for any reason, if we are kicked off again, we will finish this. But I'm going to turn it over to Joy right now, and we thank you for your patience, and we're sorry we had that hiccup.
Thanks again, guys, for your patience. I wanted to be live today to go over the programs that are available to you, because there's so much confusion out there about who qualifies for what. So I just wanted to give you some additional information about the types of loans that are available. And for those there are some people who are able to go in and have applied for the loans with no issue. For those that are struggling, you are not alone. We're here to help. I've talked to over the last couple of days, I've talked to at least 3 to 5 highly intelligent people who went into the applications and struggled. So because of that, we have created a community that we're going to drop the link in the chat box for you, that you can go in, and we're going to do live videos, one-on-one webinars, as well as post additional information to assist those who need additional help. Also, we will still, even if you don't sign up for our community, we will still be going live at least at a minimum once a week or as needed with additional information, because additional programs are even coming more. So right now there have been 4 rounds, whether you realize it or not, there have been 4 rounds of financial funding so far. There is more to come. And so as a result, we have the Small Business Administration, they have the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, there's the Paycheck Protection Loan, there are state programs, and there's even stimulus payments that are coming. And so we will talk about each of the different loan types that are available. So the first one is the SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loan Advance. This is a $10,000 advance. Once you fill the application out and you check the box and say you want the advance, you put your direct deposit information in, and they are supposed to be giving you your loan advance within 3 days. I have checked with some of our clients who did apply on Monday, because the new application came out on Monday. You have to, if you didn't apply on Monday, you need to apply again. They did not. Today is Friday. They have not received this $10,000 payment yet. So the 3 days doesn't seem to be holding up, but they will still get it at some point. And so you need to at least apply to get it. Who qualifies for it? Almost every small business owner applies for this. Whether you're a sole proprietorship, an LLC, if you're a nonprofit, even if you're an independent contractor, there's not a lot that independent contractors have qualified for in the past, but they're qualifying for this. If you're a co-op, you would qualify for this. And if you have under 500 employees, you would qualify. This advance is to be used for either paying for employees' payroll or your regular operating expenses. That is what the $10,000 is for. If you have employees and you use this to pay their payroll, this $10,000 can be forgiven and considered a grant. If you do not, this $10,000 will just be turned into a loan of 30 years, similar to the Economic Injury Disaster Loan that we're going to talk about next. The disaster loan, you can get up to $2 million. They said $2 million, but from everything the SBA has said in the last 2 weeks, they are doing this in phases, because they got hit with I think in 48 hours, they had 8,000 applications. So to turn things around faster and to not make the process cumbersome, they're going to do a phase 1, which means that any business can get up to $500,000 if you qualify. There is no loan guarantee. They've actually just changed this. If you had no loan guarantee, or up to $200,000. The interest rates on this is going to be 3.75 for businesses and 2.75 for nonprofits. The term of this loan is 30 years. And, oh, by the way, they are going to, for the first year, defer payments. So you do not owe any interest or principal for the first year of this loan. Doesn't mean that they're not accruing interest. It just means you are not going to make payments for the first year of this loan because they're trying to ease the burden of businesses. It does not do the economy any good for any business to go out of business at this point. So they're doing their best to put funds out there to assist you. But what that also means for you as a business owner or independent contractor or whatever type of business that you're in, it means that you need to have a budget and have realistic expenses and know how you're going to survive even after you get this money. So it does you no good to get this money and then not be able to utilize it, or to owe all of this money back and you haven't really determined how you're going to use it for your business. You have to, this is the time for us to really be taking a good look at our numbers and get very lean. Things that we don't need or things that aren't serving us or aren't bringing in business, they need to kind of be cut back a little bit because we need to conserve money and during this time, because we don't know what lies on the other side of this. We know we want to survive to get to the other side, which we will as together. But what we don't know is how long, what this is going to do to your business. So we need to be prepared to be as functional and as strategic about what we're doing as possible. So this isn't a loan just for the sake of having a loan. It's a loan to prepare you for the long term, so that your business will come out on the other side of this and even be better than when you went in. There are qualifications for this loan, which I have. We will send these out to you. So the first round, you just fill the application out. They're going to come back after they've reviewed the loan, and they're going to ask you for information. They're going to want to look at your tax return. They're going to want to look at your monthly sales figures. They're going to want to look at your profit and loss. And if you have, $100,000 in sales, they're not going to give you the $500,000. They're going to give you whatever they believe you qualify for. So it's very important that your numbers match up to that you give them all the correct information to match this up properly and to get the help that you need. Now, what you've heard about the most recently is the Paycheck Protection Loan Program. Who qualifies for this? Businesses, nonprofits, and churches who have 500 or less W-2 employees, but they have to be on payroll. I've heard someone ask me the other day if a contract employee counted. No, because a contract employee is a 1099. A 1099 does not qualify for the Paycheck Protection Loan Program because it has to be a W-2 employee. So someone that you're paying payroll taxes for. The max loan is $10 million. Because some people have 500 employees. That's a $10 million loan. Most of the loan will have an 8-week loan amount that can be forgiven. The interest rates on these loans are 4%. The term is up to 10 years, and the use of these funds are payroll costs. That is what they're focusing on: payroll costs, medical expenses, vacation, sick leave, severance, and state and local taxes. And this loan is going to be deferred for 6 months to a year. Now, just to take a step back, this loan was supposed to come out today, and some banks are starting to accept the application, but the program has not been rolled out completely, and all banks are not, even the banks that are qualified to give this loan through the SBA, some of them are deciding not to. So it's very important that you check with your bank and your banker to determine if they're going to be in the program, and then 2, what you can qualify for, and 3, do they have their own loan application? Because banks, from what I've seen today, banks like Chase and Fifth Third Bank are coming out with their own application. The SBA and the Department of Treasury have put out a sample application, which I'll give you a link to, but that may not be the case for every bank. But it's just to give you an idea of what types of information they're going to be asking you for. But all banks are not participating. Even the ones eligible to participate are not. I even heard JP Morgan Chase is going to participate, but they're not ready today. So it's important that you reach out to your bank to see, 1, if they're going to participate, and then 2, do they have a process? Because the other thing, just lastly, the other thing that we're hearing is that some banks are only allowing their own customers to apply. So if you don't bank with them, they're not going to take a loan from someone who does, or even allow you to apply for a loan if you don't bank with them, because these loans are through the banks. So they have their own process that they can put you through just as they normally would. And so people have asked me, how can you calculate the paycheck protection loan amount? The best way I can show you, which is what I've done here, is they're going to take your monthly expenses, which in this scenario are $43,000, multiply that by 2.5 times what you would need. So 2.5 times, and that would give you $107,000, $107,500. And then of that, the potential forgivable amount is $82,500. Now, please be aware, if you lay off employees, your forgivable amount starts to decrease. The whole reason they gave you this money was to keep people employed. So if you take it and then you lay people off later, this becomes a loan and it is not forgivable. And trust me, with all of these loans and even the grants, there's going to be a lot of documentation that comes on the back end that they're going to be asking for to make these loans forgivable, and to just even to apply for them. And so please be aware of that, and that we need to track this a little bit differently than how we would normally do. So I also have a link to the sample Paycheck Protection Program loan application, which we will drop in the chat box as well. The criteria that we know so far from the banks that have put the program out are, they're going to want to see your 2019 payroll reports. They're going to want to know what your healthcare costs are, what your retirement funding is, your profit and loss, your mortgage or rent statements, your utility statements. They're going to want your organizational documents, your details, and details are still being finalized. So this is just a basic list of what they want. They want an acceptable credit history and a proven ability to repay the loan. They do not, however, they will not require collateral on these loans because the SBA is guaranteeing the loans 100%. So what does this mean for you? This means that if you have employees, you should be applying for the Paycheck Protection Program and the EIDL loans. If you do not have employees, you should be at least applying for the EIDL loan and whatever grants are available at the state level. Because as I mentioned earlier, many states and now the local governments are offering grants and loan programs. And you want to get as much assistance as possible while being conservative and knowing how much this is going to cost you in the long run. And so we have links to the various loan programs that are out there that we're going to, again, post in the chat box to help assist you during this time. And so we want to be a resource. Again, we've created the community for people who need it. The link is in the chat box for you if you need it. We are here to help and to assist you during this time. So with that, I'm going to see if there are any questions that have come up during the presentation.
Joy, we do not have any questions.
Okay. So again,
go ahead.
So again, the basic question that I've been asked is about the loan. Should I apply? What should I apply for? You should, if you have employees, you should be applying for both the EIDL loan and the Paycheck Protection Program, because you want, as long as you have employees, you want part of that loan to be forgivable. And you want to make sure that you are covering yourself and your business for the long term. So, and if you're still confused and you still need assistance, again, we have the community. We're going to drop our contact information in the box for you to assist you as needed. Okay,
Joy, I think we are good. And how can people reach you?
They can reach us at either, they can call our office. We're some of our team is working remote, but we do have people answering the phones. We can be reached at 301-577-6444. And they can also email us at accounting@pgservicesinc.com. I'll repeat both of those. The phone number, 301-577-6444, or accounting@pgservicesinc.com. You can also tag us on social media. We do have someone actively monitoring our social media accounts, but we're definitely here to help, and we look forward to working with you, and we will survive. I feel like playing Donna Summers, but we'll survive this. We just need to do it together, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, we can stop the recording.